Yo, welcome everyone. Market makers are setting a trap and you will probably not like this. Be ready and make sure you manage your risk. Let me show you why. Bitcoin, first of all, is seeing almost a perfect bounce at our very important and quite a significant buy zone. We have talked about this specific area for many times on YouTube and also on Twitter, where 18 hours ago I almost gave you the perfect buy signal. Bitcoin just hit the big buy zone, and as of right now, we are clearly seeing a very nice bounce towards the upside. Now it does look like our second and very important liquidity level at this specific area of 115.2 thousand US dollars at the moment still has not been hit. We only have taken the liquidity below the first low right here, and after we hit it, we did not even go towards the 50 exponential moving average on the 4-hour time frame. We took the liquidity, and as of right now, we are already seeing a push towards the upside. However, the reality is, if right now Bitcoin is still moving in the corrective structure, we could still be expecting another push down, which is going to mean market makers are probably going to form some kind of a bearish pattern, and I am going to show you about the bearish pattern in a moment, where a lot of people are going to be bearish, trying to short at the exact area of support. However, I would say like that, if another opportunity is going to be offered to us and Bitcoin actually does see another push down, of course, we are going to look to fire another long or a buy position simply because we are still interested of buying the dip. Yes, yesterday I did fire another long position on Bitcoin and also on many different altcoins because a lot of them have actually taken the liquidity at some very important levels, and that is why I wanted to go with another long position. However, the reality is, now we need to talk about the ABC correction that could right now be taking place on the 4-hour time frame. Remember what I said yesterday. If right now Bitcoin completed the third and most impulsive elite wave towards the upside, simply because we hit a very important 1.618 Fibonacci extension price target right here, we can talk about a choppy price action for the next couple of days. For how long, you might be asking? We simply need to go with the Fibonacci time, measuring the previous correction right here and putting the third pivot exactly at the top. For the next couple of days until the 20th of July 2025, Bitcoin could be chopping up at this specific area before then actually continuing its way straight towards the upside. And also one thing that you're right now going to see, with the entire push down, what level did we actually hit? A very important Fibonacci retracement level when we go from our swing low back towards the swing high. Going with the logarithmic scale right here, you can see the exact level I mentioned yesterday, 0.32, is right now being respected almost exactly, and right now Bitcoin is seeing a push towards the upside. However, the reality is, you need to be aware, if we are right now expecting some more choppiness at this specific area, that the ABC correction is right now playing out. So what exactly do I have in mind? We got an impulse right here, we simply got a correction. Another impulse, right now we are forming the fourth elite wave before another push towards the upside is very likely to happen. That is why I still want to see another all-time high on Bitcoin. That is why, of course, I am still interested to hold this specific long or a buy position, not only on Bitcoin but first also on many other different altcoins. And what we can right now expect in the next couple of days, if we are right now forming the fourth elite wave, we are simply looking for some kind of an ABC correction towards downside. And what we can right now say, we already got the first leg back down with our A elite wave. We can be expecting the B elite wave right here, and only after the B1 is finished, another push towards downside. And probably right now you're wondering, where is going to be a trap that market makers could right here be setting? Before we do talk about that, I would really appreciate for you to smash up the like button, because 1000 likes are really possible, and also thank you for subscribing to the channel. Let me right now also do share with you why this entire ABC correction could be a significant trap for a lot of retail traders. The reality is, pay attention to the shape of this specific pattern. It could simply mean we are forming right here the left shoulder, we got the head, and right now Bitcoin, if we are pushing towards the upside forming the B-elite wave, we are seeing the right shoulder of the head and shoulders pattern. And trust me, retail traders right now paying attention to this specific pattern are going to look to go with a brand new short or a sell position exactly at the area of support. And in my opinion, this right here is a recipe for a disaster. Usually, we are not looking for brand new short or sell positions exactly at the areas of support. We could be looking for a short position exactly at the area of resistance. And that is why later in the video, I am going to share with you the exact level that you should really be aware of, where potentially, yes, you might even be looking to fire another short or a sell position on the Bitcoin chart itself. But nevertheless, the main idea is like that. We are forming the head and shoulders pattern. People are going to be bearish exactly on the breakdown out of the head and shoulders pattern, and they are going to be trapped with their short position. However, we are going to know it's most likely going to be an ABC correction before Bitcoin does continue its way literally straight towards a brand new all-time high, where we are going to be looking for brand new long positions on the entire crypto market. Additionally, if we right now simplify everything, we don't even need to talk about our ABC correction, also not about the head and shoulders pattern. We can simply right now say Bitcoin is moving in a very simple horizontal range. We can be identifying the bottom of the range right here and the top of the range literally exactly at the all-time high. So what we can right now say, if we do see a push down towards the bottom of our horizontal range, remember, deviations are something very much normal, so we could still see a deviation from our range, acceptance back in the range. People right here are bearish, but we know in an uptrend, support levels have a higher probability of holding, and that is why we can still be looking to fire another long or a buying position exactly at this specific area. However, what are you right now going to see? Bitcoin is right now, literally right now, trading at the mid-level of the horizontal range, which technically speaking is also going to be a very small area of resistance. Previously, the level was definitely a very nice area of resistance right here, support level, and right now, because broken back down, it is simply going to be another very important area of resistance. However, I would say like that, the bigger area of resistance is actually going to be just slightly higher towards the upside. Right now, we are hitting the mid-level of the range right here, and also the value area high of the entire upper price action. But to be honest, I do not feel comfortable shorting at this specific area simply because I do think a bigger level is going to be slightly higher. If we right now already do see a push towards downside, I am not going to be involved in a short position. However, if we do see right now a push towards the upside, I would potentially look to fire another short position on Bitcoin. However, I also want to give you a disclaimer. Shorting Bitcoin in such a strong uptrend is definitely going to be something more risky. Ideally, you're only looking to fire a long or a buy position, and I would say like that, because personally I'm right now already holding a long position right here, I can simply afford for me to lose one more trade in a case I'm going to go with another short or a sell position. But if you're right now not in any other positions, I would simply say look and focus only on entering brand new long or buying positions. But the reality is, if we are right now potentially forming this ABC correction, of course it would make sense for us to look maybe even for another short or a sell position at the area of resistance. And what is going to be the biggest level you should right now be aware of? Simply we are going to go with the high term time frame area of resistance we formed yesterday, the daily level, that is also aligning some kind of very nicely with the golden Fibonacci ratio when we are measuring the entire move towards downside. Additionally, you can clearly see we have a liquidity level at approximately 120.6 thousand US dollars. So if you look like that, if we are right now going to continue higher towards the level, we can simply go with a short or a sell position, stop loss above the all-time high right here, targeting another lower low to be formed on the Bitcoin chart itself. And that is why, if you want to trade with us, make sure you are taking an advantage of the free 8,000 US dollar bonus, no KYC and no VPN, with the second link down below in the description, because only after you register, you're already going to get a 10 USDT completely for free. But this specific bonus is unfortunately limited to the first 300 users, and then deposit on your account, because you're going to get a 20% deposit bonus. Right now, this specific campaign is quite an exclusive one we are hosting with BitUnique, so make sure you take an advantage of the free bonuses using the second link down below, because only after you register, you're already going to get a bonus. Now, let me also share with you another major important level that you should really be aware of on the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. On the 48-hour time frame, you can right now see some liquidations are going to come up at approximately 119.2 thousand US dollar area, which is going to mean it is going to be slightly lower from the daily and the golden Fibonacci ratio. I would say that yes, this right here is quite an important level I would be aware of. However, ideally, I still want my levels to be respected. That being said, the daily, the golden Fibonacci ratio, and of course also the liquidity level at approximately 120.6 thousand US dollars. That is why, if we then do see some kind of a rejection back down, what is then going to be the first major support level you should really be aware of? First of all, as you most probably know, Bitcoin still does have a CME gap slightly lower at approximately 105,000 US dollars. Additionally, as we said before, we still do have our second liquidity level at approximately 115.2 thousand US dollar area. So ideally, we do see then a rejection back down. We take the liquidity below our recent lows. People are going to be FOMOing into a short position because apparently a head and shoulders pattern is going to break down. But we know support level is support level until proven otherwise. In a significant uptrend, they do have a higher probability of holding. So ideally, we are then simply looking towards another all-time high. Additionally, a lot of different indicators are right now saying to us we might be expecting slightly higher targets in the next couple of hours. Pay attention right now to the money flow indicator and also to the RSI indicator on the 4-hour time frame. What are you going to see? We are at the moment clearly forming lower lows on the money flow, lower lows on the RSI indicator, while Bitcoin is seeing another higher low. This right here is going to be a hidden bullish divergence. However, let me right now share with you an ideal scenario I still want to see. I want the RSI and money flow indicator to form an even bigger hidden bullish divergence. That being said, lower low right here, which money flow is as of right now already doing, RSI also forming another lower low below this specific low, while Bitcoin potentially trading exactly at this specific area, forming another higher low. And this right here is then going to give us even a bigger hidden bullish divergence, and another reason why we can be expecting a significant bounce towards another all-time high. So I would say like that, if you're right now not already holding any long or buy positions, I would simply say looking for a short or a sell position at the area of resistance, it is going to be slightly more risky. However, I would much rather go with a short position than a long position at the area of resistance. But once again, note, you are going with a short in a very strong uptrend. So you really need to know what you're doing at this specific area if you're actually shorting. The better trade is always going to be in an uptrend, another long or a buy position simply at the area of support if the opportunity is going to be offered to us. If we right now already teleport towards another all-time high, of course, I already made a plan that I am going to be buying at this specific buy zone. That is why I did already enter another long or a buy position on Bitcoin. But of course, let's right now see what is going to happen next, because eventually I want to see another all-time high to be formed on Bitcoin, but not only Bitcoin, also on the entire altcoins market. That is why, if you want to trade with us, take an advantage of the free bonus, no KYC and no VPN, with the second link down below, and only after you register, you're already going to get a 10 USDT free bonus, but then also deposit, because you're going to get a 20% deposit bonus. But also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.